Hello, everyone. It's Monica Heltz, your Public Health Director for the Fishers Health Department, doing the weekly Community Risk Rating Scale review. We are still in red, or our severe risk for community transmission category, level 4, and we continue to be increasing in that category. So that arrow is still pointing upwards. Our community risk rating scale primarily is based on our metrics for community transmission, which we measure with percent positivity rate and case incidence rate. Our percent positivity rate that we use is our county rate on the individuals tested metric that you can find on the State Department of Health website and on our site. That rate today is at 16.7%, which puts that in our red category. We also have a look at our Fishers Health Department testing site just to see how that compares. That rate right now is at 7.71%, which puts it in our orange category. And then our case incidence rate is the average of the number of cases we've had over the past 14 days, and that is currently at 95.48, which puts that in our red category. In fact, anything over 25 is in our red category. So we are definitely seeing very high rates of cases. In the last several days, we've topped 100 cases nearly every day. So I would expect that rate to continue to increase as it has been. Our public health capacity is our secondary metric we look at to kind of tip things in one direction or another. If we don't know where we're at, we're very much in red right now, but our public health capacity is primarily kind of in the yellow to orange zone. Our testing availability right now is in the 3-day range. You can get an appointment within 3 days at our testing site using either a link, and it may be shorter than that in other sites. So I'm going to put that one in yellow. You can actually get same-day tests through our testing site too if you want to. You can overbook. You will have to call our COVID hotline, and they can put you in for the same-day testing through the state link, if that is of importance to you. Our testing turnaround time on average is 2.5 days from all the reports that we've seen coming in from the various places, from the many places that people are getting tested at. Again, our testing turnaround time is 2.5 days, so I'm going to put that in yellow. That is ranging from approximately 2 to 3 days at our Fishers Health Department testing site right now to 7 to 9 days through our State Department of Health link testing site. And then, of course, there are places where you can get rapid tests and things like that. So that does bring down the average on the testing turnaround time. So it is fairly variable. I would say that if you're highly symptomatic, I would recommend trying to seek out a rapid test so that you can have those results right away. It is fairly diagnostic in the case of a symptomatic individual. If you are looking for a reason to go visit relatives, I would not recommend the rapid test because it's not going to be as sensitive. However, you will have the results right then, which is a benefit in the case of looking at long turnaround times. Our tracing capabilities are growing. We still remain stretched, obviously, with the increase in cases. We have also increased our tracing capabilities. The state has done some changes to their process as well. Right now, we are currently continuing to be able to notify all individuals who test positive at our testing site and their contacts, again, provided they pick up the phone, which most of you are doing if you're tested at our testing site. We're able to do those notifications within 24 hours of the same day that we get the results, which is fantastic. We're also able to notify anybody reported through the schools right away. For the state testing sites, and for the other testing sites, we are heavily dependent on when we get that listing from the state, and that is the same list that we use to update our community dashboard. So for those of you that notice that we're not able to update it every day, the state system has been overloaded with some of these lab reports, so they're unable to provide that list for us on some days and on those days, and that of course puts us further behind on those contact tracing efforts. But right now we're looking at green zone or less than 24 hours for our Fishers Health Department folks, and then up to 7 days for those tested through the state, and that is from the time that the report comes in. If we're looking at long turnaround times, it could be even later than that, and I've heard those stories for sure. Our hospitals, putting in the orange category right now, we have 23% of ICU beds available. We continue to see more and more COVID patients taking up beds in the hospitals. The ERs are being flooded with COVID patients as well, and we are starting to have our hospitals look at potential diversions and other tactics to try to maintain hospital capacity. In summary, I think it would be important to note that in the month of October, we saw 610 cases, which at that time was a record for the pandemic. As of right now, the month of November has seen 1,850, so more than triple the cases that we had in October. We now have for the month of November, and I will expect that number to continue to rise because we still are waiting for reports to come in from people who were tested in November. And again, we're using the testing date. So I would expect that number to be about 3.5 times what we saw in October. And then we are guessing, based on our projections, that the month of December will see double that number again. So this is serious, guys. This is a lot of cases. I know that the numbers can be really overwhelming and it can be easy to start to ignore them. But what this means is that we have increased community spread and the likelihood for increased not only death, but also morbidity or long term effects from this disease, which we know that there are. So please be careful out there and be safe. Continue to mask, distance, wash your hands, and only engage in essential activities. Thanks. Good night.